Hey everyone, and welcome. I'm so excited you're here with me today. Okay, listen, we are diving into a really beautiful story right now. We're exploring this fascinating play called Twin Melodies, and this explainer is literally packed with everything you could want. Amazing music, a little bit of teenage rebellion, some pretty big secrets, and most importantly, family. If you have ever felt like your parents just do not get what you're passionate about, you are going to relate so much to our main character today. I'm going to walk you through her whole journey step by step. So get comfortable and let's get started.
Be honest for a second. Have you ever hidden a new hobby from your parents because you thought they just wouldn't understand? Maybe it's, I don't know, a new video game you're obsessed with, a totally different style of art, or a type of music they just brush off as noise. It is so tough, right? You really want to share your excitement with them, but you're terrified of getting a long lecture instead. Well, that is exactly the huge dilemma facing our protagonist, Shruti. She is carrying around this really heavy secret, and you guys, it is just tearing her apart.
To understand Shruti's secret, we first need to meet her amazing friend group. So let's jump into Chapter 1, Meet the Fusion Band, Indo-Western Music.
Okay, picture this. We're in Iqbal's room. There are all these posters of famous flute players on the wall. And right in the middle of it all are four kids just making pure magic. We've got Iqbal playing the flute, Avinash totally dropping beats on the tabla, Peter rocking out on the keyboard, and Shruti just beautifully playing her violin. But they aren't just playing any regular music. They are playing Indo-Western fusion music. They're taking different instruments and totally different styles from all over the world and blending them together into something so fresh and so new. It's like a giant musical puzzle coming together.
Now, to get why this is a big deal, you kind of have to understand the clear difference between Shruti's two musical worlds. On one side, we have Hindustani classical music. This is deeply traditional, it has strict rules, and it uses these classical elements called ragas and alaps. This is the music Shruti's dad, Guru Nevin Sharma, teaches and absolutely lives for. But then, on the other side, we have Indo-Western fusion. This is what Shruti and her friends are playing. It's experimental, it blends styles, and it's all about that group harmony. It's fun, it's modern, and it is entirely different from the strict traditions Shruti's dad expects from her.
And that massive difference right there brings us to the core of the problem. Section 2. Shruti's big secret, a hidden passion.
Oh man, you can literally see the anxiety written all over Shruti's face right now. Why? Because her fusion band has a huge concert next week, and she hasn't breathed a word of it to her dad. Her father, Guru Nevin Sharma, isn't just a casual fan of classical music. He is the principal of the Sangeetika Music School. He firmly believes that classical Hindustani music is the absolute only kind of music an artist should ever play. Shruti is terrified because she knows her dad will think playing Western tunes on a traditional violin is a desecration, basically the ultimate disrespect to the instrument itself. She loves her dad, she really cares about his opinion, but she also desperately wants to try this new style.
So what does she do? Well, it's time for a quick vocab power-up. Have you ever heard the phrase bite the bullet? It means to face a really difficult or unpleasant situation with total courage and determination. And Shruti's friends, Iqbal, Avinash, and Peter, they are so supportive here. Iqbal even jokes that he gets a little bit of scolding for breakfast every single day. They're encouraging her, telling her that ignoring the problem is only making the stress worse. Thanks to her friends, Shruti finally realizes she can't hide forever. She decides it's time to be brave and just bite the bullet.
But yeah, biting the bullet is way easier said than done, right? Let's move to Section 3, Facing the Music, the Confrontation.
So, we reach the crucial moment, Nabeen's reaction. And unfortunately, it's exactly what Shruti feared. He completely disapproves. He tells her it's just not a wise choice to drown her individual style in the loud hubbub of an orchestra. When she timidly tells him it's an Indo-Western fusion concert, he gets up and says something incredibly harsh. He says he never thought his own child would lose her sense of musicality to such an extent. Ouch. He refuses to even discuss it for another second. Shruti feels completely crushed. She thinks all her hard work and practice with her friends is just going to go right down the drain. And this just perfectly captures Shruti's internal conflict. It's like she's being pulled in two completely different directions. On one hand, she has the warmth and encouragement of her friends who see her amazing talent and push her to be brave. But on the other hand, she has the heavy, overwhelming weight of her father's disappointment, making her feel totally lost. Put yourself in her shoes for just a second. How would you feel? It is so hard trying to balance being a good daughter while also staying true to your own passions. But wait, the story takes a massive turn during the concert rehearsal. Get ready for Section 4, A Blast from the Past. History repeats.
Okay, let's look at how this builds, because this is where Shruti's mom, Leela, totally drops the mic with some major family history. Step 1, Shruti's grandfather, so Nabin's dad, belonged to a highly traditional school of vocalists. He expected his son to solely use his voice, not an instrument. Step 2, Nabin actually went against his own father's wishes to play the violin. Back then, the violin was seen as a Western instrument and a total betrayal of their tradition, but Nabin worked his fingers to the bone to master it anyway. And now step 3, Shruti is rebelling against Nabin to play Indo-Western fusion. History is literally repeating itself. Shruti's dad completely forgot his own rebellious past, and it takes her mom pointing it out to finally make him realize it.
And once Nabin realizes that he was once in the exact same position as his daughter, everything changes. Which brings us to Section 5, Music Heals and Connects, Bridging Generations.
When Nabin finally apologizes to Shruti, he says something incredibly profound. He says, "I underestimated the power of our own music. After all, each bay its own wind." I just love this. What a beautiful philosophical way to put it. Basically, it means that one size does not fit all. Every single person has their own unique path to follow, their own style, their own wind. He admits his fears were totally baseless, and he promises to root for her group at the concert.
Look at how joyful this is. This happy ending captures the magic perfectly. Shruti finally gets to hug both of her parents, knowing they actually understand and support her. This story shows us that sometimes taking that really scary step to communicate openly with your parents can actually lead to amazing things. They might completely surprise you. Music, which was the whole source of their conflict in the first place, ultimately became the bridge that connected their generations.
Okay, really quick, dropping some cool real-world facts here about music healing and connecting people. Did you know that India's rich musical heritage actually views music as a form of therapy? For instance, there's this ancient text called the Raga Chikitsa, and it specifically elaborates on the actual healing properties of music. And then the 17th century work Sangeeta Sudha talks all about the deeply profound effects of music on our emotions. So when Nabin talks about the power of music, he's actually backed up by centuries of Indian history. Music isn't just a bunch of notes. It's a way to heal, to feel, and to connect deeply with ourselves and the people we love. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with one final thought to chew on. What is your unique wind or passion? Maybe it's fusion music like Shruti, maybe it's writing stories, coding video games, or playing a sport. Whatever it is, I want you to remember Shruti's courage. How will you bite the bullet and bravely share your passion with the world? Please, don't hide what makes you special. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today for Twin Melodies. I really hope you feel inspired to get out there and find your own rhythm.